if in all honesty, we're selling things that no one needs. But we sustain and we stay in business because people want that escape. They want to have the escape, the curation, the ability to come here and buy stuff. I'm Dustin Hansen. I'm the owner of Graywhale Entertainment here in Taylorsville, Utah, 4700 South Redwood Road. Easy to find, not too far from downtown. Graywhale was established in 1986 by Steve Gray, G-R-A-Y, hence the name Graywhale. Graywhale was originally, arguably, but we can't confirm, but we can't deny, that was the first place to do buy-sell trade on CDs. Throughout the years, we would lose certain locations, open up others, and right when COVID first started, my business partners decided they didn't want to have it anymore. And they were like, let's shut it down, liquidate. It's been a good run, we're over. And I kind of said, hey, wait a minute. And then in 2020, I bought the company outright from my old partners. And so no matter what happens, whether we're one store or 10 stores, I'm not letting it go. We're too much of an institution in Utah and Salt Lake as a place. The long connection people have to this place. Everybody knows someone that's worked here, shopped here, had a good experience, bad experience, whatever it is. The connection in Graywhale is how much people know we exist or have a connection to their life. I think is so interesting. And I've had so many people that have worked here for over the years, before me and with me and after me, like after I took over and stuff, that they come back years later, they move out, they live their life, they come back and they always say the same thing, like that's my favorite job. They're so happy to see the sign lit up still, that we're still here. And I think that's a pretty remarkable thing. I don't take that for granted. We are full media. We do CDs, cassette tapes, vinyl, DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, VHS tapes, a small run of books and graphic novels. We do video games and video game systems and retro and modern, whatever. I think the breadth of what we carry is what makes us always establish us as different and kind of what we do. We sell beginning record players for people, the little suitcases that everybody hates, but they work. And if that gets a kid into vinyl and music and understanding music, I always view us, we're very open to everybody. We try to be a little bit of everything for everyone. We really like the idea that you can come in here, no judgment, the least amount of pretension as possible. Sometimes it takes like a woohoo moment, like I found something that I've been looking for. It's that a diamond in the rough, and then you're like, this is it. And they'll come back and check the store because that was a good experience. Or we're able to introduce them. They like something that they're buying. We can introduce them to 3 more things. Or they connect with. It's always been they connect with a certain employee. Zane's a metal guy and he knows about 80s power metal and loves that. So one guy buys something, he suggests something, and that guy's Zane's guy, because they'll come back and specifically go to him and say, "What's this?" Or it always starts with the most popular things, right? Your Swifts, your Chapel Roans, or whatever. That's bringing people in. That's the bread and butter that we sell every day, all the time. But my favorite thing, and the thing we really try with them, is what's the next level? What's the next step? What's an influence of that record? Here's an artist that influenced this, or here's a similar artist. And we try to stay away from the algorithm vibe of just here's 4 more similar pop artists. So yeah, if that's all you like, great, here's 4 more. But if you listen to this hard rock band and their drummer is taking everything from disco bands from the 70s, like you ever listen to this and then try that out and you see him expand. First record I ever actually had, I thought about this long and hard. It was a Disney record player, and they were the little Disney storybook. You'd have the record and would read along with it. And I was very young, and the first one I had, and the one I loved the most, was the Mickey Mouse's Jack and the Beanstalk. I think I started to learn how to read when I was such a little kid, and I would read along with the book and do the story, and the narrator had a British accent. So for years, I would say "Stolk," like Jack and the Beanstalk. So it informed me. I was like, is this a little British kid? No, it's just a little chubby kid from Utah. Why is he saying beanstalk? Graywhale, I have no intention of it going anywhere. But what I would love to do is work here for 10 more years, 12 more years, whatever it is, and then pass on ownership to the next group of people that we're developing underneath us. Zane's 10 years younger than me, so we worked together for another 10, 12 years, and then let him run it for 10 more years after that. And he builds a staff underneath him. And, I'd love to see the evolution of Graywhale just keep going with different ownership over, decades, whatever it is, because as long as the world doesn't burn, and it's a good vision to want to be around and still be an institution, whether it's here or different places, whatever it is. I know what the iteration would be in years from now, but for now, I can tell you that we're locked in here at Taylorsville for 5 years. We're going to actually knock down this wall and expand 2,000 more square feet for more room. That's for sure the short term. We're here 5 more years at least at this location, and we're going to keep trying to do that. I like the experience of seeing regulars and building those relationships, because a lot of those people have become friends. They care about, they have such a deep, passionate love for Graywhale and us as people that work here, and that love's extended back to them all the time. I think that's remarkable.